Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello from wherever you're checking in from. Hioho mitakiape, Eva Cordovi machiape. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's December Uncis, Sissies, Uncis, and Aunties live. And I'm so thankful that you all are here. I'm thankful to be here. I am excited to be here. It's December. I want to say welcome. We gather here at Susie's, Uncis, and Aunties monthly as we lift up stories, celebrate community, and create a safe space for connection, for laughs, for Auntie Big Medicine. I'm your host, and I'm so excited to be here with you today for a special 2024 recap episode. I'm joined by our amazing co-host, Jennifer Varenchek, and our special guest, Auntie Dawn, who will be bringing such heart and energy to our conversation. So welcome, Jen. And here you are. You're gonna unmute.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay! Hi, everybody. Skugtash, Aninapchikik, Jennifer Varenchek, Aniat Tonatam. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Varenchek. I'm from the Tonatam Nation, and I'm very happy also to join for this December live stream. I can't believe it's been another year, like another year. Gonna say, because I think we did this for a year before. So is this like our second year? I think we would have to go back and look in the books, but I know for sure we've been doing this for more than a year. So that's like amazing to me. What started as just like friends chatting has turned into this thing, and we just keep getting like more and more resources and becoming more polished, and it's really cool to see. So I'm very happy to be back. Um, I am going to pass it over to Avril so she can start us in a good way. Being Indigenous, it's important for us to always acknowledge that. And so that's something within this space. Um, all of our co hosts and guests, it's kind of like a basic foundation that we have. So let me pass it over to Avril.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. And I do want to say that it has been a year. It has it has been this year, but we've started before because Dawn, our special guest auntie, who we'll bring on in a moment, after I pray, um, she actually was one of our guests in 2023. So we're bringing her back because she has some big news to share. She's doing great things in Indian country, and we do miss our co-host, Justine Medina, and she'll be here with us in 2025. So I've lit some California white sage, and I'm gonna go ahead and say a prayer. So thank you for giving me a moment to share some special words. Creator, we come to today with open hearts and open minds, thankful for the many blessings that you provide us on a minute, monthly, second basis, from the ability to walk, talk, be here today, to laugh, to gather, to dream big, to be able to speak with um, my sisters, my friends, my community. Allow us to feel safe in this space, Creator. Allow us to feel that we're loved. Allow us to know that people are praying for us. Creator, come to you and ask that you watch over individuals in my life that are surrounding me, that are in our community, that are going through things from homelessness to depression, whatever it is. We're all going through something, Creator, and I'm just thankful for another day of life. Creator, I ask that you keep my community healthy, wealthy, and safe in wherever they're checking in from in Indian country. Allow them to know that they're loved today, that we're going to laugh today, and we have some big news coming. So thank you, Creator, and ta'a pilamayaye gracias at yehe jonas le. Oh, amen. The end. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Um, okay, so we took care of our opening prayer, our blessing. Now I'd like to move into our land acknowledgement, which, if you've been a listener, if you've been a part of our show, you know that we've had a lot of discussion on, are we still doing this? Are we not? But at least for this year, we're going to end it with a land acknowledgement. So I would like to acknowledge that I am streaming from the Kingdom of Hawaii that is illegally occupied. And I am coming from the community of Kahulu in the city of Kaneohe. And as an Indigenous person, I recognize that this is not my land. I respect that. I do my best to be a good steward, and I will continue to acknowledge that the Kingdom of Hawaii that was illegally overthrown and then brought into the United States. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen. And now we're going to bring on our special guest, Auntie, boo, 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 Dawn Manuelita. Here she is.
Dagot
Yay!
si Damenelito Gonzeg, tuning in remotely from our San Carlos Apache Nation. I am on my homelands of the San Carlos Apache Nation. So blessed and honored to be here. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. Yeah, ladies, my sisters, my aunties out here. Thank you so much for having me. And what an amazing 2024 it's been, right? You ladies are really, really just doing it up. And I love seeing your Sissy, Unci, and Aunties here every Thursday, Wednesday, all the, Avril, like just the conversation we had before all of this came to fruition, and your vision, and look at it's just amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, ladies.
We're happy to have you, for sure.
We are happy to have you. Dawn brings so much joy. I'm so excited about what she's going to talk about. And I know that she has done so many things, from the Marine Marathon to her own products. And we'll actually be talking about that in a little bit. So we're super excited that she's here. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a question, an opening question that we can all speak on. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pose the question. What is, Jen, do you want to pose it? I'm sorry.
What does reflecting on 2024 mean to you, either personally or professionally? So when you hear, reflect on the year 2024, this past year, what does that mean for you? So everyone has a different version of that, but what does it mean for you? And Dawn, if you would kick us off, if you want to give us your thoughts on what does that mean for you?
Okay, how much time do we have? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Jen, thank you so much, Jennifer, for co-hosting here. I appreciate you and what you bring to the table and the platform. Thank you so much. But reflecting on 2024, it's been a practice of mine. I recently had a birthday. So what I really have been practicing lately is applying a word every year I turn another age, because that's a whole year that I get to practice, things that I've reflected on throughout the year. This year has been a year of a lot of lessons. And I feel like, that's how our ancestors taught us, right? From experiences, from lessons. And last year's word was win. And, to win at everything. And I used to, when we think about that word win, we're always thinking about competition or, things like that. But really, it's about, what about winning in life? What did we congratulate ourselves for getting through just another day? Did we congratulate ourselves for doing our best? Did we, when we really didn't want to do our best, or we didn't know how, right? With what we had as our best, right? And so did we show up for our best self today? And maybe it wasn't, but hey, we showed up, right? That's a win. That's a win, and in our communities and Native Indigenous communities, especially when you look across the board and you think about the health and wellness of our communities, because I'm a health and wellness coach, and you think about that, are we winning right now? And so that word really taught me a lot this year. And so that was both personally and professionally, because you can take that across, across both nations or both platforms in your personal life and professionally. But also, Auntie Avril, you mentioned that I ran a marathon, a Marine Corps marathon, right? And that's really like a mental win. Not only is it physical, but it's a mental win. And so I think about those things, and reflecting back, the marathon of life is no different. It's showing up every day and just executing the best with it, the best is what you got. And sometimes we don't want to show up, but hey, we're here, right?
Right.
So what do we do with today, right? Where sometimes we get so caught up with tomorrow, but what do we do with today? How am I going to take care of today, right? And so, or what happened yesterday? So really just reflecting on 2024, it was a challenge. There was a lot of challenges. And more recently, I faced one of my biggest growth moments in 2024 and across, my lifetime. And I'm very thankful that I got to handle it the way I did and not from the trauma responses that I've learned. So
Mhm.
I'm growing, and that's a win when we can sit back and say, hey, how are we growing, right?
Mm.
And the growth and the lessons, and how am I sharing my love and light? How do we do that and do the best we have with that? So yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I totally needed that to hear that. And I'm so thankful to always have you as my sister. We've known each other. It feels like forever, but
Yes.
it actually hasn't. We've known each other. And actually, look, I'm wearing our shirt, the shirt that we got.
Oh, I
Lift
love
up
it.
your
Yes.
make I didn't even realize that, but yes. So Dawn and I know each other from the Return to Heart Foundation. We're fellowship sisters, and we've grown in beauty, we've grown in projects, we've grown in healing. Actually, for myself, I have totally grown in healing. And I'll start, my response to this question. Reflecting on 2024 can be a powerful way for me to, now that I look at it, assess growth, accomplishments, and areas of improvement. And the question, what does reflecting on 2024 mean to me personally? Reflecting on 2024 means acknowledging the growth that I've experienced both emotionally and spiritually. It's been a year of it's been a rough year, but it's also been a year of deepening connections with my heritage, especially through work with my community events and workshops, youth workshops, and the upcoming and different workshops that I've done, from tying traditions, a shawl making workshop. I've had the privilege of learning from others and sharing my own experiences, which has brought healing and clarity. Also, the journey through grief. I lost my father-in-law, Ignacio Meneses, who has also shown me the importance of honoring family and community, and the work I do this year is dedicated to keeping not only his legacy alive, but also others, because we've definitely lost a lot of great individuals that have lifted up our community in so many ways. Phil Hale, there's other individuals that I know that we've lost, but I, instead of thinking of the loss, I also want to think of um, the healing, the memories, the things that have helped me grow to be a reflection of, helping my community like other people have helped. That is personally. Professionally, 2024 has been a year of expansion and deepening my commitment to Native communities, um, branching out and being able to know if I move to a different state or a different city that I can take me and do what I do, not just here in LA. I've been in LA for a long time, 49 years. So if I go somewhere else, I know that I can do that same thing wherever I go. And I'm been honored to have helped elevate issues like MMIW to SG, engage in collaborations with organizations like NCAI and Native Ways to College, and also to facilitate virtual wellness programs such as this. This year also has allowed me to embrace new roles and partnerships such as just collaboration, which aligns with my mission to empower others, especially youth and elders, to connect with their culture and heritage. And reflect on this year reminds me of the impact that we can have when we work together as a community towards collective healing and education, because that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just thankful for individuals that surround me. Sometimes, as happy and as encouraging as I can be, I'm also have this, I'm not enough. I am struggling with grief. There's all these things that are put on my shoulder. But then when I can turn to Jen or Dawn, I can call them and they're like, I don't want to talk, but then they're just there to listen. And, they don't judge. I see that TikTok going around. We listen and we don't judge. Well, this is ultimately the group that does that for me, so that's it, the end. La la la. Jen, your turn.
Thank you. I'm listening and I'm not judging. Well, thanks. Yeah, for both of you sharing. I really like, Dawn, how you said about a word. That was great. Like, I was like, I might use that. So that was cool. And April, as you know, I'll always be there for you, and I know that you'll always be there for me. And it's really wonderful when you have close friends that you can depend on. And I know that you've had a lot. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year, like, for everybody, pretty much. Like, I don't know anyone who had like a yay, great, like an abundant year, whether it's finances or professional, whatever it is. But as I think about myself, so reflecting for me, I kind of have like a little bit of a system that I use, which is I use my photos. I go to January and then I go through and I kind of like look and see like what have I done? What have I accomplished both personally and professionally? Because usually if something's happening, I'm like, let's take a picture, and so it like commemorates or documents it. And then I kind of like see like these are the things that I did that I accomplished. I haven't done it yet. I usually do it on the plane while I'm headed back home for Christmas. So I haven't done it yet, but that's the method that I use is I kind of go through and I see what I've done, and then both personally and professionally. And then this is something that I do for myself when thinking about the following year. Actually, I'll share that for later when we talk about like what's coming up for you. But that's how I take stock of it is I go through my photos and I just kind of like, okay, January, this is what I did, February. And it does take a lot of time, but for me and the type of person that I am, I mean, I carve out that space. So if I wasn't doing it on the phone, I would go to like a nice coffee shop or something and just sit there and go through my photos and look at it. And so I do that to remind myself you did something, you accomplished something, because a lot of times I'm very like, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't, because I have like maybe one big goal that I'm going for, and maybe I didn't accomplish that goal, but I'm not recognizing because I didn't accomplish that one big thing that there's all these other little things that you did that is going to help you to get to that goal. So that's why I do it, because I tend to always think about like what didn't happen. And I need to remind myself, like, no, you did do things, and these are the things, and you have pictures, you have proof that you did these things. So that's how I do it. And that's what it means to me, is like doing a full, thorough, I guess, reflection or taking stock of what I actually did. So that's what it means for me. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jen. I love that. Thank you for the tips as well.
Yeah, Jen, I appreciate that. And I'm a person too that takes pictures. It's funny though too, because I've taken pictures and I haven't posted them, and I've done things where I haven't taken pictures and it's just been a memory. But I do take, when I'm feeling like all excited about stuff, I'm all, let's take a picture. But sometimes we go to places and I'm just like, I just want to take in the memory, and I don't say that. And then when I leave, I'm like, dang, we should have took a picture. But I probably wasn't like so like excited, or I was in a different headspace, So thank you both for sharing. I appreciate you both. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment, which I'm going to turn it over to Jen, and she's going to take over.
Yeah, so we just want to walk through what did we at Sissy, Unci, Aunties, like what did we do? And when I look at this chart, which we cannot show you because it's like on our internal document to help us prepare for this, but I'm going to tell you who we had, like what month. So in January we didn't have guests. Our title was Healing Through Ribbon Skirts. In February we had Living in Two Worlds, and we had Dr. Amanda Chermaya, and I forget, how is she known on social media? Dr. something. She has like a social media name. Anyone?
Dr. Hero.
Dr. Hero. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And is it on TikTok, Dr. Hero Juice?
She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram. I had the pleasure of I'll tell you that story in a little bit, but I ran into her at the Marine Corps Marathon.
Oh, okay. Is that in Hawaii?
No, that's actually in Washington, D.C.
It's in DC. Okay. Because I saw that she was just recently here and I missed her. But
I know, I did too, but I ran into her there. Her mom was running the marathon. And
I know.
And I didn't really know who she was at the time. And I just walked up. I was like, "Are you Native?" She's like, "Yeah." And then we just clicked, and obviously we ran off into the sunsets making a TikTok live and video.
I mean, because the two of you together are like,
and we still had no clue who each other was. And afterwards, we were laughing about that. Yeah.
Well, she was our guest in February, which was amazing. And I often think about her, some of the things that she shared, and like why she pushes herself so much. And it has to do with her own personal health. And if anyone wants to know, just log on to AC and Associates and look at that show, because she reveals some very personal information about herself. But yeah, that was an amazing guest. In March, we had Celebrating Women's History Month, and that was with Naomi Miguel, who she works currently at the White House. She's the executive director of a very long title, but something along the lines of, I don't have it memorized. So Naomi, if you're watching this, I apologize, but it's something like executive director of Native American Commission on Education and something. It's very long, but Naomi came on, and that was really wonderful. It was our first time ever having a guest that we had to like submit all our paperwork to beforehand. There was a lot of hoops that we had to jump through because she works for the White House, and she's doing Autumn also. So shout out to TO. But yeah, so that was very, very wonderful having her as a guest. Getting a little bit of information, on the inside, as well as Averill has known her for years. We knew her, or I knew her when she was in college, and now she's all the way working in DC in the White House. So it was really cool. And then in April, we had honoring Unci Maka, celebrating Earth Day. And that was with Brian Frijo. And I believe, was he our first male guest, Averill? We had never had, I don't think, a male guest up until, so that was like our first, like, okay, we're gonna have a male on. So we had Brian, and I remember for sure he sang us a song. He did it from outdoors because it was honoring Mother Earth, and that was also a memorable show. In May, we had Native Voices of Renewal, Empowering Mental Health Awareness and Springtime Growth. And we had two really great guests at that time who both are in LA and they had never met. So the first one was Sarah Winnie, and then we also had Monique Castro, and both of them are in like the mental health space, or specifically Monique Castro does have an actual clinic mental health practice. Averill, I can't remember the name of it. ICO, Indigenous
Circle of Wellness.
Thank you, Indigenous Circle of Wellness. We've had so many guests. I'm not even halfway through, and I'm like, there's so many. And And then Sarah, who does self-care, and she's also a marathon runner. I've run, I don't know how many with her, but I've run probably at least 3 with her, the Los Angeles Marathon. But Sarah has her own business. She's an entrepreneur, and she has her own space where she does lashes and other beauty practices. And she's really great. I used to go to her when I was in LA, but so it was really good to have like these two like still in the same space of like wellness and self-care, but different perspectives. And then in June, we had our second male guest. So we had celebrating Pride Month, and we had Elton Noswood. Also very, yes, everybody, I think everybody knows Elton because
Yes.
he has so many different pockets of communities all around the country. I mean, even here in Hawaii, like he knows so many people, and it's very rare that I run into someone, especially if that person is like in the leadership space or activism space, if they don't know Elton. He's just like one of those. Were you going to say something, Dawn? About that?
Oh,
That I
it's
saw
so
you.
funny because April and I reconnected with Elton about a year ago, right, April? Sis?
It was 2 years ago.
Oh my,
It was a year ago, and it was for our summer retreat. Our
yes.
yeah, with
She
Return to
was
Heart.
That was so funny. She was gonna go meet up with him and her friends, and I was like, "Oh," she's like, "You want to come with me?" And she's like, "It's a couple of friends." I was like, "Oh, okay." And we said, "Who is it?" And she told me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I used to walk home from school with him." We grew up in the same, just right down. We played together, and it was crazy to be that
Oh my
small.
gosh.
Indian country is such a big space, but it's also a very small, intimate space
Yeah.
when we're
Yeah. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. That's great. I'm glad.
And I hadn't seen them in like forever. Yeah.
It
Are
was
you still
so funny
connected
too
now?
because we oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead.
So we were gonna go to dinner, so I went to go pick him up. He was there for, I don't know, work, whatever. So we went to go pick him up at his hotel, and she's like, "I'm gonna lay down in the back seat and surprise him." So she was in the back seat. He got in the car, and then she was surprise. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it was like he's like, "Oh my gosh!" It was just such a great dinner. It was Willie Sandoval, who some of us all know. It was
Mhm.
Elton Naswood. It was Mark Para.
Yes.
And then me and Dawn. And it's so funny too, because when we were sitting there, um, we were chatting, conversating, we were asking each other what they were doing. Mark was like, I'm doing yoga now. I've been trying to get a hold of this girl. Her name is Haley. And we're like, Haley Laughter? That's our sister. We were just with her. It was so funny. He was like, yes, I've been trying to get a hold of her. We're all like, we got you. We got you. So it's the best when you have just a great uplifting community of individuals that know each other. Like Dawn said, it's big, but it's small.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, my question to Don was, do you still keep in touch with him now that you've reconnected?
It's funny, we do through other classmates and other friends and family, because it's funny because we just all just kind of synced back into this world of life, right? And yeah, so we do. I'm actually going to be going up to Denver soon, so
Oh, nice.
I can't
It's
wait
gonna
to
be cold.
reconnect.
Yeah.
I know my son is choosing probably Colorado, so we're going to do a college visit, so
Mm.
Nice,
I know,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
Teeny went there. Justine.
Oh,
I
did
think
she?
she, yeah.
My son's looking at Colorado State.
I went to visit her. I don't remember if that was the exact, but I know I was in Colorado and Denver, and it was very cold. Um, okay, so next we have after June, July, obviously. We did summer vibes and we didn't have a guest. I don't recall much about that. If we don't have a guest, I'm like, it's just us chatting. Um, And then in August, we had me in community, and our guests, we had Yvonne Cipher, and we also had Gina Arvisu Sanchez, who also, she might pop in here, maybe, she said. Is that right, April? She might pop in and say hello.
It's another Gina.
Oh, my
It's
bad.
another Gina.
Sorry. But it was really good to see Gina, because I've used to kind of work with her within the same community in Los Angeles. So I hadn't seen her in a while. So it was really great to see her. And then I met Yvonne, and I hadn't met her. So that was good. And then in September, we had Through Our Eyes Indigenous Education. And that was Jennifer Leal, who is she's an educator herself. And she also has this amazing career teaching tribal court clerks how to kind of like know the system. She herself was a tribal clerk for her own tribe in Washoe. And she realized that there was there were things that were happening that there was no clear, like, how do you do this? And so she reached out to other tribes, and they were like, well, this is how we do it. There wasn't, every tribe has its own individual way that they do things, but there are some standard procedures. So once she realized that a lot of other tribal courts are kind of like in the same boat, that's when she decided to start her own business where she could teach like methods to help everybody kind of like be on the same page and standardize it. And that to me is an amazing business. I, of course, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but I was like, dang, that's a really good idea. So, sometimes when you run into those roadblocks, you turn it into the opposite
journey.
of a roadblock, a rocket
Your own
launcher.
journey.
Yeah. And then in October, we had Gina Jackson. Oh, yes.
Wait. Before you continue, I just want to go back to September because I don't know if people that are watching know that there are differences between tribal courts and regular law courts. So Jennifer was in tribal court, and because there was no real training or direction, she was like, I'm going to make a master class. And that's what she started doing as her own as an entrepreneur for herself. She started these master classes. So if you're in tribal court and you don't know what to do, get in contact with Jennifer Leal. She has a whole training that can come to your place, or that she can help you with.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Very,
Sorry.
very much so. You can find her on Facebook or LinkedIn, Jennifer Leal, and she will be happy to help. After Jennifer, we are now in October. We talked about Visible Truth, honoring MMIW G2S, and that's when we had Gina Jackson from Return to Heart, who might pop in. This Gina, not the other Gina.
Yes.
So I'll kind of like hold off there, because if she comes on, I want to be able to give her the floor. But we talked about MMIW, and that was, it's still obviously a big issue that's going on. So that's something that we always need to talk about. I personally am always surprised when I run into people and they don't know anything about it, because I always think like we're making more headway, and then I realize like, no, not as much as I thought. November, we had we didn't have any guests. It was just us. Get to know your co-hosts. Personally, I found it a lot of fun because we each kind of like talked about our own personal life and our background, and that was fun. So everyone could kind of like know us a little bit more. We're here every month, but if you want to know more about us, here you go. And now we're in December. Yay! So it's the end of the year. We had some really great guests, and we had some wonderful things that we talked about. So that's the recap of SUA. I'll pass it back to April then, if she has any comments that she wants to say about the year in general, or yourself, Dawn, if you have anything that you want to say, if any particular episode stands out to you. They're all, they're like your children, you love them all equally.
Yes, really. Like, how can you say the favorites when you really can just grasp some kind of like piece of knowledge or information, or, from each and every one of your guests that you've had on the show? It's been beautiful. So thank you so much to you ladies and aunties for just really embracing all of us, really embracing us, right? And the episode to get to know the host, the co-host, the host, that I love that. And I just love that, we can just have conversation. I mean, how we Native women do it, right? We just keep talking and talking and talking.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it too. I love that we had such a great year. And not only that, but that our friends want to come on and hang out with us. And we have some amazing friends like Dawn and Naomi and Jennifer and Elton. All of those are just great friends that love what we do. And I love that, what was just a small dream or just a small inkling has become this, and it's going to grow. I know it will. But in October, we did have the amazing Gina Jackson, who I love, who is a supporter of mine, who is my sister, who is like my big auntie sister, and who is just so amazing. And she's actually in our next segment, and she has popped on. So we are going to bring her on. And this
Yay!
we're going to say is we're excited to welcome some amazing guests. Dawn was here in 2023, but our amazing guest from 2024 to share some updates on their work. And I'm going to bring her on now. So here comes the one and only Gina Jackson. Boo, boo, boo.
Woohoo!
Hi, Gina.
Yay!
Hi there. Thank you for the kind words. And thank you for inviting me today. When I first got the invitation, I was hoping that another meeting that I had previously would end sooner, and it did. So I'm really grateful that I'm able
Yay!
to be here.
I love
Yeah.
your earrings.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no. And one of the reasons too, not just because I want to join you, but I want to promote one more time that we have a grant that's open right now. So if you have any interest as a Native woman who's leading a nonprofit or doing work around missing and murdered Indigenous women or Two-Spirit people, and even if you're not with a nonprofit, find one, partner with them. It has to go through a nonprofit. It's bigger grants than our regular micro grants. It's going to be around 20 to 30,000. And the deadline is Sunday, the 15th. So this weekend on Sunday, get your applications in. We extended the deadline and we want to really get folks in the places where there's just really high rates as well. So if you're in, a border state, you have high rates. If you're in Alaska, you have high rates. And we just want to stop that. And we always believe that the people that are on the ground that this issue is affecting are the people who are more likely to have the solutions. And that's what we want to invest in. So I came here today to tell everybody, apply. If you're not with a nonprofit, find one. You have a few more days. Ask if they'll partner so that you can still, access this opportunity and, do some really important work to end the craziness of us being targeted as Native women and girls and Two-Spirit people. Like, help, do something. We're just dying for you to, apply and do some good.
Awesome. Thank you. I know I'm going to put my application in. I promise.
Yes, I'm working on it, Gina. I'm working on it.
Sunday. Make yourself a deadline early, though, so that way when everything goes wrong, and it does, you still can make the deadline.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Thank
I'm
you,
so
Gina.
excited. Yay. I have some questions though, with regards to this. What type of, I know it's our Sisters Are Sacred fund helping missing and murdered Indigenous girls and Two-Spirits, but what exactly, like, I just want to get like individuals that are in community, like what can I do? Like what kind of projects are you looking for? Or like, I know, like, for the traditional helpers and healers, I wanted to do this brunch, and I was so like, how am I going to get this money? And then this grant came up, which is from Return to Heart. It was a simple form. And I was like, should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I, should I? And I did it. And then Gina was so like awesome because she contacted me and she, just, can you give an example of what some people might be able to do?
So we purposefully left it open, and so that you can bring the ideas, and we're not telling you what to do at all. The application's pretty simple. We do ask for some extra things like a budget and a project budget. So like our question, so when you look at the criteria on the application, and we'll post a link for the application for like the announcement, and then you can go to get the application. It's very simple, but is this project going to make a difference? That's one of the questions. So could it be awareness through film? Sure. Could it be data gathering and getting data where there hasn't been? Sure. Could it be it could be anything. It could be actually supporting on the ground workers who are doing searches. It could be bringing people home when you find them. It can be anything. We purposefully left it wide open for the solutions to come from the grassroots. And so yeah, but so the question is, will it make a difference? So I would give the advice to share with us the big vision. Even though this amount may not cover all of the big vision, it can kick it off. It can start it. It can support it. And the big vision really is what we want to invest in. Native women with solutions, with big vision. If you're asking for really small little things that are not going to make a difference, that's not going to score high in the evaluation process. So think big, dream big. And it's something like I feel like I'm always constantly asking myself, and I'm going to be approaching you with this new idea that we just got today about lifting Native women's voices up. But it's big, and it's like, oh my gosh, how are we going to make this happen? I have no idea. But let's put our heads together. And that's the same advice I give to folks who maybe they have a big idea, but you don't have a nonprofit. Find one. Find a colleague, friend in your area, or even not in your area, somebody who's willing to work with you, to partner with you, to help your big idea come true.
Love that. Thank you so much for your explanation. And I also know that like in LA, there are a lot of Native nonprofits that are willing to partner. They just ask for like 10%, 5% of the grant that you're applying for to cover their costs. So there are nonprofits out there that are willing to help with individuals. So thank you so much for explaining that. Do you want to answer our question real quick of what you're expecting? Let us know what your reflections of 2024 personally or professionally were.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I have been reflecting upon that. I'm in a new fellowship where I had to do a 360 lately and reflect on like my own personal growth. I would say I have had probably the last 2 years has been tremendous growth. For me on a personal level. There's so many things that I'm like, that I don't want to do. Like ask for money. I hate that because I'm so independent. I want to just give it out. And I would love for people just to give it in so we can give it out. But I'm learning to navigate, and also to talk about not just like our deficits, right? So, I mean, we all know the statistics in regards to like our violence against Native women are extremely high. We're 10 times more likely to be murdered, living in poverty. We're underpaid, making 52 cents on the dollar for a non-Hispanic white male. Statisticians predict if we go the same way with our living wage, it's going to take us like 300 years to catch up to have pay equality. Okay, right? So we're the underdog on so many different levels. But all of these injustices are justice issues. And so when I am moving forward in my own life, and I know that I'm fighting for justice, and even every inch that I'm fighting for can make a difference, that's what really fuels and has been fueling my passion, my fire, my drive to keep going. Because sometimes when you look at all the statistics and the bad things, it's heavy. It's like too much. Like, who can carry that? Who can make a difference? It's just like too much. But honestly, we've been waiting for people to save us. Who's saving us? Where are all the people who are saving us? They're not here. We have to save ourselves. And so because of that, my reflection is, no matter how, well, I think a lot of times when you're like younger, you think like all your growth is like in the first, younger years. No, I'm growing now more today, over 50 than I ever have maybe in my life, because I have to, we're fighting for our lives, literally with the missing and murdered Indigenous women. We're fighting to save lives. And it's worth it. And, I feel like, my next steps in my next journey is, really just building that army, because it's going to take an army, to really, and I'm hoping this grant too, every single, grantee, they have their army that they're building, and that we can all collectively, make an impact on turning the tide on this issue, on saving lives, on protecting, Native women, girls, and Two-Spirit people, which you don't even have the statistics on because we're so far behind. So that's just another injustice upon injustice. But we also, have warrior DNA in our blood, in our bloodlines. And so, I remind myself of that. I remind myself of my grandmothers, my ancestors, and just all of the, the fighters who have, prayed their prayers, and who have, brought forth, generations of us that are here today, who are willing to say, yes, I will do it. I will stand up. I will do it. Even when it's hard, even when we don't want to, even when we're kicked around, we will still stand up and fight for our people.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. I love that. I love your energy. I love what you say. And I always remember you saying, like, I don't want to be fighting for this issue like 20 years from now. I'm tired of fighting it. We need to like build that team, build those warriors. And there are warriors out there. So thank you so much for being here, for sharing, for checking in. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm just always so thankful for you.
Right back at you. Thank you so much for having me today. And if you wouldn't mind sharing the slide with the announcement, folks can go to www.return2heart.org. We have it posted everywhere, all of our social medias, website. There's just links to the application. And when you read through, it'll tell you exactly what the criteria. That's what we're evaluating on, is on that criteria. So it's straightforward, no mystery, no surprises. It's right there in the application. And Sunday night is your deadline. So get those applications in.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gina. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All
Love
right,
you,
bye.
Gina. Thank you.
Bye. Or you could, yeah, she already left. But now our auntie that has been, our special guest auntie that has been here, I'm going to turn it over to her so she can go ahead and talk on what she's doing, big things that are coming from her. So here we are, Don Manuelito.
Thank you so much, sisters. Thank you so much. Well, this year has really, in 2023, it really kicked off, and then 2024 came in, and we really started everything off. Being the Native woman-owned health and wellness company in the country, we're actually doing some great things as far as like product development for health and wellness. My passion is to teach healthy living from the inside out, gut health, and talking about our guts and and all of that. Well, these were the products of 2024, which is a bit, it's our product line to help with digestive system, help aid in digestive issues, promoting healthier options for our foods to get uploaded into our systems. And that was a bid, and it's Chanel Wellness, a bid. And you can find that on my website at donmanuelito.com. and that's on our trading post as well. But also we have the Ithash, which is the sleep aid, a melatonin GABA complex. And these are all natural, sisters. These are all natural products that help aid in sleeping and our digestive system, really getting the nutrients uploaded to our systems from the foods that we do eat. Also, we have a new one. I have not yet announced this, so this is the first announcement that's coming. So really think about this, really spearheading this industry with health and wellness products for our own, from all natural substances. This is the next new thing. When we think about pain and we think about Western medicine, it serves its purpose for a certain time frame, but it's caused a lot of dependency as well. So me looking into all natural products, I decided to partner, and I came out with another one. Ithash is the sleep aid. So, and that means sleep. Oh, I just dropped it. Hold on. But this is the new one. So let me just say, I'm so excited. This is a new product that just came out, and it's a liquid form, and it's Nipa, which is pain reliever, and it's helped to aid in pain, anti-inflammatory, help reduce pain, all natural, and also muscle recovery. Because remember, I said I ran marathons, right? Well, we talk about that. Our athletes can use this as well. It's all natural. So they're turmeric, curcumin, resveratrol, and ginger. The very ingredients that I use on a daily basis to not only run my marathons, but to recover. But also, we have people that it's helping with their joint issues, like with rheumatoid arthritis, people that have inflammation, these areas. And for me, it's the recovery process of muscle tissues. So it helps aid, anything that can improve without, being dependent on something else. So this is one of my answers here. So I'm like Gina, I'm tired of fighting the battle against health and wellness issues. I don't want our people to, be battling this down the road in 20 years from now, right? So, being with like-minded people and, just reducing those rates of health risks, most of them are preventable. So it's something that I look forward to, helping our people with. And that's my passion. Is I don't want people to be sick anymore. I don't want our people to be sick. And the biggest thing for me is that what we used to be 100% of this nation, we're less than 3% now. And a lot of it has to do with health issues and understanding that there are healthier options, there are healthier alternatives. And, just see, but how do we know if we don't share the information and education and understanding about that? So thank you for posting my my link there. Yes, you can go to donmanuelito.com/store1, and that's where you'll find all the products. But this is brand new. I haven't even posted that on the website. So you all are seeing it here first, and, get the first goods on it. So when it comes to this, I want people and our Native Indigenous communities to know that, we're represented out there in this industry as well. Our words, our language, the very language that my grandfather went to fight this, for this country as a Navajo code talker. I want to honor him in that legacy by using our words to help heal our people as well. So with these products, I am so thankful that we're able to still have our language and represent it in a good way for solutions and combating our illnesses and sicknesses that we're facing now today. So thank you so much, ladies. Just love being here, and thank you for letting me share. And when Sister called me the other day, you have no idea that I was like, I haven't yet. I showed her a bottle. These didn't even have labels on them, so they're labeled now. They're ready to go. Again, I have to post that picture, and then we're good to go. So thank you so much, everybody.
Wow.
If you have any questions, about any of them, you can ask questions. Yes, Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I love it. I can't wait to get on that store link.
Oh yeah, because they're also in Germany and New Zealand. Yeah, yes, I've gone international. So your girl went international. So yes. I do individual coaching as well as, full out Native Indigenous communities, the programs, that we teach among as well. So looking forward to it. So great things happened in 2024. We are winning.
Yes,
Winning.
we are winning, and we're thankful that you're here and that you can introduce and worldwide premiere of your product. I have one of your product, which is a sleep aid. So now I'm going to have to get the new one because I have very bad knees, rheumatoid arthritis. But we're just thankful that you're here today and that you were able to jump on too. I appreciate you. I know people can catch you everywhere. You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, Warrior Wednesdays, Flex Fridays, what the heck Saturdays? No, I don't know.
I like that. It's so funny recently, and I am out here remotely right now. So it's funny because I have my link tree to my account right there on my website. There's a link tree where you can see all of my social media platform. And, I am all over. So some people have come. It's funny now. It's weird because people will come up and say, I know you from this, your Mindset Mondays. I mean, I had a gentleman Bob, he owns his own corporation. He's like, I see you on Mindset Mondays. I was like, you're back. I was like, oh, okay. Hi, Bob. Like it's crazy when you go out and network and then people say, and so that it warms my heart. It really does, because I really want to share the message that you matter, that each and every one of us matter, and we deserve a good life with a healthy living. And how can we do that but pour that into all of you? Because, that's my purpose, is to share all of this information. I grew up with my grandparents and my grandmothers and all my aunties, and teaching us how to what herbs to pick, what my grandma on my Dinesh side, my Nali, she was a weaver, so she taught us which plants and roots and to use for color and dye and such, right? But then also, on my Apache side too, in our culture and ceremony, we have our aunts and our grandmas that teach us roots and herbs and medicines as well. So all of this information and knowledge is, carried forward. And so many people, just kind of forget. We get caught up with, Western medicine and think that's an answer, but it's not always so. As Native Indigenous people, we've been here how many thousands of years, without that, it worked for us, and it still does today. And so my natural options are always first. Don't get me wrong, Western medicine has its purpose and its place at times, but we do have our alternate options. And so that's my purpose, is to share all of this. And then, again, like April was saying, Oliver, and maybe I'll just come up with what the heck Saturday, and, that's too funny, is we also had a conversation the other day, and someone was like, yeah, I just lost my trail of thoughts. And I was laughing. I was like, I'm going to use that trail of thoughts Thursday. And he was like, Dawn. I was like, I am going to use that. Not the trail of tears anymore. It's the trail of thoughts now. So but we as Native Indigenous people, that's our healing, as our medicine, is our laughter, connection. And we always come up with some, thing off the mind, off the spur of the moment, and, just embracing it all. So thank you so much, sister, for letting me share that. I appreciate each of you, all of you out there, and just really being support for me, because it really was Return to the Heart that helped me get this all started.
Right.
I mean, just from an idea and a vision, I was referred to Return to the Heart as well. Hey, apply for this micro grant. and it helped me get started with my workshops. And then I developed a curriculum. Then we travel and share and teach. And now we're into our own health and wellness products. There is no other health and wellness products that are native labeled and owned under our language. So I hope to inspire other people to business entrepreneurs. You can do it. It's a dream. It becomes a vision, and you apply the work and the work ethic behind it, and it's worth it when you're helping people, and it helps. So thank you, sister, for letting me know that it helps you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
You are so welcome. And thank you for being on our show today. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and have everybody click on that link in your comments and go check out her link tree or her trade store or even her website. And it'll, direct you directly to her. And if you want to book her, she does amazing work in Arizona. But I've met her in Albuquerque and Pine. Did we meet in Pine Ridge?
We did in South Dakota
Originally,
as well.
we met in Pine Ridge, right?
Yes, and I've gone across the country into Connecticut, Maine, just taught across the country. So,
Yeah.
just wherever
And
you
she's
need me.
always taking donations as well, too, for her next run, which is the Marine
The Marine.
Marine
Yes.
Corps Marathon.
Let me mention that real quick. In 2020, my goal is for us. Oh, I see a new order just came in. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
That was me.
Yeah, thank you. And that's right. We'll be in Hawaii now. Hawaii. But the great thing is for the Marine Corps Marathon, we're going to really be promoting that because this will be my 4th one. Ladies, that was 3 is 4. When you hit 5, you get inducted into the Marine Corps Marathon Club. So my goal is to really bring awareness to our code talkers and one day be the theme for the Marine Corps Marathon. So it'd be an honor.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
You're so welcome. Thank you, sister, for being here again. We love you, and we're thankful that you were able to join us. We're going to go ahead and move on because we're going to go slowly coming to an end. And Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you. Dawn, thank you so much. I ordered the digestive aid, and I can't wait because I need some help. So I'll talk to you about that offline. But yeah.
Absolutely. Just we'll have a conversation. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So as we come to a close, I wanted to kind of throw out this exercise to everybody. This I wouldn't call it a meditation, but just a thought for when you're thinking about 2025. And you're thinking about what it is that you want to accomplish or what is it that you want to do for 2025. I would love for everybody to just take a moment and kind of imagine it's New Year's Eve 2025. Okay, so we're a whole year. New Year's Eve 2025. You're all, dressed up or whatever it is that you're doing, or maybe your PJs cozy at home, and you're with that very special someone, whoever it's your best friend, it's your husband or your wife or your dog or your child, whoever it is, you're with a really special someone. And it's New Year's Eve, and the countdown hasn't started yet. You're just filled with excitement because it's about to go. And you turn to that special someone and you say, oh my God, this was the best year ever. It was so awesome. It was so awesome because, and then you fill in the blank. What is it? What happened? What did you do? Where did you go? What did you accomplish? Who did you meet? What happened? And whatever that thing is, whatever it is that you say, that kind of will help you lead yourself in that direction of what is it that you want to do for 2025. So I just want to throw that out there for people to contemplate, what would have to happen to make me say this was the best year ever. And also, I also believe every year gets better and better. So I could say this is the best year ever so far because I know it keeps getting better. And I was reflecting today earlier I went somewhere, a drive-through, and I had change, and I just kind of like stuck it in the side of my door, in that little pocket there. And I got out of the car and I realized like, oh, I have like $5 or $7 left in the door, and I was just gonna leave it. And I was like, oh my God, I can remember when I used to live off of $5 a week. And April knows because she was there. And I would live off of $5 a week at the 99-cent store. And this was a long time ago, but or it wasn't too long ago, I would say. But I know that was more than a decade ago. And I'm like, and here I am just like, oh, leave that in the door. It's not important. Whereas I held that money in my hand and I was like, this would feed me for a week. I would have like $3 extra. And that's like, another set of eggs or bananas I can get, or rice for myself. So I'm like, God, it does just keep getting better and better. And at that particular time, I could not imagine my life how it is now, because it was just like, it was hard. It was really hard. It was a very tough time for me in my life. But I do believe that things do improve, things do get better. And so I invite everybody to kind of think about like, what would have to happen in order for you to say that? And then, just put it out there. What do you have to do now? Just kind of take some steps to make that happen. So thank you for letting me share, April. That's just a little something that I wanted to, share with everyone that's watching or listening, either live or in the replay.
Yes. Thank you, Jen, for asking that question, because it is setting our intention for 2025 as well. And with 2025, the new year, it doesn't change anything that has happened in the past year. And, as we recapped what happened this year with Sissy's, Uncis, and Aunties with SUA, we'd love to hear from you and what topics or themes that you would like us to explore in 2025. So drop your ideas in the comments. Let us know. Get in contact with us. If you see us, if you know us, send us a message. If you see us at a powwow, or for Jen at the beach in Hawaii, if you see her, let her know what you'd like to hear. But we are very much intentional about wanting to give our community a voice. We have friends that work in the White House, or that make their own digestive products, or, are making a change in Indian country through giving money to you to help with the MMIW problem. These are all individuals that we call sisters, that we call friends, that we call aunties. And we know that you as well want to hear something, or if you have an idea, or, I remember when I was working and I wanted to stop working to go out on my own. Me and Jen were, she was moving at the time, and we were sitting in front of her garage, and it was raining too. It was in the night and the rain was coming down, and I was so excited about being my own boss and doing my own thing. And I was like, literally pulling Jen along with me. And I'm all like, we're going to do this, because she used to do it all the time. And she was like, yeah, we're going to do this. I don't know how it's going to go. But like, she was hesitant. But because she's such a cheerleader for me, and because she's always that person that wants to step in and help, this is what happened. We started Sissies, Uncis, and Aunties at a time in community when we couldn't connect. It was during, COVID. We all know what that was about. Being disconnected, and just feeling disconnected is a different thing for us as well as urban Native Indians. When you don't know your community, or don't know where things are happening, or aren't connected, it can feel lonely, and traditions and all of that have to be learned. We don't want them lost. So we want to know what you want to hear, or what you would like for us to explore in 2025, from themes to topics to how do I start my own business, or how do I make a movie. Jen can talk, thousands of hours on how to make a movie, because she's doing that right now. She's making a theme, which I'm always her cheerleader. I'm always like, come on, tell them. But if you are interested in contributing to such an amazing individual, Jennifer is that individual that can help bring different things to light. And she's doing that now with her feature. But Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you
Mm-hmm.
now.
Thank you. I also wanted to say that you were saying, on the beach in Hawaii, but recently, Averill and I went to an event in LA, which was so cool because we got to connect with like the most amazing people. It was the LA Indian flea market, and it brought together all these great vendors, and we were there able to just run into some amazing people. And I think from that location alone, we got possible 2 new guests for 2025. We ran into Chief of Style. If you don't know her, follow her on Instagram. But she is a stylist and has done styling for several different Indigenous actors and actresses, and wardrobe. And so hopefully we'll be able to have her on, Amy. And then we also ran into Danielle, who is an amazing woman who does robotics, and she teaches robotics to kids, Native kids. She goes all around the country. And she's just an excellent figure in the STEM space. And so we met her too. So we met like all these really cool people, in addition to like the Hollywood Native Indians that were there. Because there were all kinds. It was amazing. And we did get one, or Averill got one picture with Dallas Gold too. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, and we were at the Chapter House in Los Angeles. So if you ever get a chance, if you're in LA, check out the Chapter House. They have great programming going on, and this was just one of them. But that was an amazing event. So I just wanted to say, with Sua, Sister Uchi's Aunties, it's always something that's on my mind. And when I run across somebody in Indian country, I'm always like, could we have them on? How can we like work them in? So I just want to give a shout out to that amazing event that we had, as well as, or that we didn't have it. We went to it. They hosted it. But yeah, it was great. So that was that. I think we're coming to a close now. I'm very excited for 2025. Despite all the other chaos that's happening in my personal life and in the country in general, I want to keep a positive attitude, and I want to encourage everyone to also, let's protect our light and be light for each other. And I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to get too dark. But
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Averill.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that we let you know that we truly do this from a volunteer stance. And Jen, she said that she's always thinking about content in her head. Like, that would be a good idea. I'm more like, hey, we do this live every month. Do you want to be on it? And they're all like, yeah, it's all volunteer. I'm very much like, come on, do it. But I'm thankful to both Jen and Justine for, sticking it out and continuing to want to meet monthly. I do want to say Pilamaya for joining us today as we reflect on 2024 and we look ahead for 2025. This has been such an amazing year of growth and connection, and we couldn't have done it without you all. Be sure to follow us for updates, and we'll see you next time on Sissy's, Uncis, and Aunties. Ta'a and be well. Our next session is going to be in January, and we are excited to see you in the new year. Please be safe. Please hug your loved ones. Please know that we'll be looking for you next year. And thank you all for just continuing to support us through, watching live or in the replay, and we're thankful for you. That's all I want to say. But anything else, Jen?
Nope. I wish everybody a great 2025 and enjoy the rest of 2024. And we'll see you in the new year. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We appreciate you being here.
Yes, we'll see you all soon. Have a great, amazing day.